I like to try different remixes. That's what I like to do. I got a little thing going on here with my hair.
You look like Dane Cook's broke cousin.
Wow. And that's how we start the day, ladies and gentlemen. 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. Anytime Well, that's interesting. Anytime I don't wear a hat, I got a deal. And now that we're on the TV, weirdly enough, on the way in here, I'm going to give it a shot, Kyle. I've avoided this for years, being on the air. I'm going to give it a shot when we get back from break. I ordered in-ear headphones.
Oh.
Which Don Imus used to do that, and a few others, and it's kind of goofy. I wish we had Bluetooth. How great would that be?
Oh, if we could just, dude, if I could just cruise around this studio while my headphones were on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
but there's something with the deal, and you can't do it because of the transmitter or there's something.
Our engineers say we can't do it, so I just buy it. I don't ask why.
It too. Yeah.
They could be like, it's actually because the zebra population is declining ever so slowly.
Like, okay.
And be like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, they've said that for years. Like, yeah, dude, no, it just doesn't. And I think sometimes engineers make stuff up. Like, unfortunately, the board just doesn't interface with the frequency and it mixes with our signal. Like, what? Okay, I mean, it sounds
exactly right.
Exactly correct, but it's probably garbage. They probably have to buy like a $4 thing, and they don't like the way it looks. And then they all sit around in their engineer room downstairs and they're like, told Carmichael Dave earlier that the flux capacitor would vary off of 1.21 gigawatts, and the station would shut down if we got Bluetooth, and he bought it. Oh, idiot.
And they're saying this while talking on Bluetooth.
Yeah, they're on Bluetooth while they're working out and barbecuing downstairs. Our engineers also double as the station restaurant. Then they actually have actual smokers out here, not people like me, but
that too.
Smokers, and they anytime we have a station event. In fact, we got an email yesterday. We're doing one next week.
Really excited.
And right after the meeting, the engineers will be serving smoked meats, various smoked meats.
It's going to be great.
Very excited about that. From the 916, that's why I paused for a second. I said, that's interesting. From the 916 right here, just to start, happy birthday to Dave's mom. What's interesting about that is that's either somebody that knows me personally, knows my mom personally, or is a longtime listener with a massively good memory, or a calendar app in their phone. But it is, in fact, my mother's birthday today. So happy birthday, Mommy.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Dave's mom.
Made it all of 40 years.
Yeah, congrats. Big 4-0.
Big 4-0
That's awesome.
for my mother.
Awesome.
Wow, it's amazing. My mom, I'll say this and then move on. My mom, by all intents and purposes, should have died years ago. She has had major health problems for over 2 decades, and as some of you know, just had a big surgery on her neck and her back. Yes, her neck and her back. I know, it's a line. A few weeks back, and is home now. And anyways.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
That it's time to call our boy and your local Geico agent, Vince Harris.
Well, wait for it.
At 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050. Get some Vince Harris in your life.
Yeah, you need Vince Harris in your life.
Yeah.
All right. We have a big show today, but I want to get to this. I was thinking about this over the weekend. This is our do nothing segment.
Aren't they all?
Kyle.
Uh-oh.
I have confessions to make.
Okay.
I'm not a religious person, nor do I wish to make fun of religion or religious people here. That's not what I'm trying to do. But, some have what they call a confessional, where I won't. You know what? You know what that is.
I'm sorry. You don't have a monopoly on confessing. You can confess things too.
I would like to. I would like to do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are just some things I've taken note. Like my confessions is I'll write them on a notepad in my phone.
I'll have you know I'm an ordained minister in this state, so.
If you have confessions as well, Kyle.
Yeah.
That you want to throw in.
Okay.
No pressure, though.
Thank you.
Last week I was talking about how there were Ewok movies. I was informing you of it with there's an Ewok movie in particular with Drew Barrymore, and how my sister had a videotape and would watch it, and it just bothered the heck out of me, right? That's true. What I didn't include is that I really loved them too. I just pretended to hate them and watched them with my sister, but I really liked them and thought the Ewoks were cute.
They're objectively adorable.
I was like 9. What do you want from me? I also had a Cabbage Patch Kid, so I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid at all.
That's fair.
Stop staring at me.
Oh, I thought you were just going to keep going.
I am. Over the weekend, I grabbed a carton of milk out of the fridge and a thing of whipped cream out of the canister.
Mm-hmm.
And there was
made a latte.
There was a cake on the counter.
Oh, no.
And I sat there at 1 in the morning, and I ate cake out of the pan, and then squirted whipped cream in my mouth and washed it all down by drinking milk out of the carton.
That honestly wouldn't be so bad if you were taking a piece of cake, putting whipped cream on it, and eating it. But the fact you went whipped cream directly into the mouth makes that really disturbing. Yeah,
that's a massive.
Like, I'm alarmed.
It's a big misconception people have. See, I put the cake in my mouth, then the whipped cream while the cake was in my mouth.
Right. That's
what I did. What I did, Kyle, is it's all the same in your mouth, but there's no possibility of mess. It's the same reason why I squeeze ketchup packets in my mouth when I'm at a fast food restaurant instead of squirting them on the fries.
I'm sorry, you do what? Pause.
This is Kyle. This is old. Everyone knows this. I drink condiments out of the package. Ranch dressing, for example.
Horrible.
If I go to a fast food place and I have ranch dressing, I'll take a bite of my burger and then I will sip out of the ranch square, whatever that is. If I'm at a hamburger place, hamburger and fries, and I've got ketchup in my hand, I will take a bite of the hamburger or the bite of the fries, and then I will have the ketchup packet peel and I will squeeze it into my mouth.
That is haunting.
Same thing with like Arby's sauce. Same thing with hot sauce at a taco place in those little packets.
This is the worst thing that I've ever heard.
I'll tell you why. And people say that, but let me bring you into the modern age here. I used to have a really rough job. I worked in as a telemarketer when I was a teenager for a while at nights. And over the summer, I was offered more money if I worked at their place in Stockton. I didn't have anything to do, so I worked all summer, got full-time, and I had to commute to Stockton. But it's one of those dumb places where they say things like smile and dial, and you have to wear shirts and ties to go to work to talk on the phone.
To talk on the phone, right.
But and many of the people that worked there, and again, I was 16, 17 years old, many of the people that worked there were like fresh out of jail, hadn't really worn too many ties. Kind of a halfway house, if you will.
Sure.
So you have these mismatched ties and shirts and all that, but hey, you look great. So too many times I would, because I ate like a teenager, I would get food and then eat it on the way down while I was commuting. And, I'd be trying to put the ketchup on my hamburger or on my fries, and it would spill onto my shirt or my pants. Here's the thing. If you think about it logically, and I've said this many times, it makes more sense to do what I do. It's all in my mouth at the same time, regardless of if I put it on the fry or if I squirted it directly in. And I don't spill ketchup, hot sauce, ranch, none of it. And I also get the exact desired quantity of condiment with my meal. You're just shaking your head.
No, you are overpowering the taste of everything else with the taste of ketchup by putting it in your mouth.
Oh, hold on.
Separately.
But here's the thing. The burger is in first.
Mm-hmm.
The burger has already established a presence on the post and the key that is my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The ketchup then follows it up as an accoutrement, if you will. And I can control the ketchup to burger ratio with one simple squeeze of my thumb and forefinger. Unlike all of you normies who...
Or you could just not be an uncoordinated dolt and put it on the burger like a normal person.
Well, first off, I was born with a tremor. If you've ever watched me eat, I shake pretty badly, so that's one thing. I have a very difficult time aiming ketchup on a fry.
I see.
Secondly, why?
Why not? Okay, here's this has always been my thing. We got to go here, but I just avoid condiments in the car.
Then you are taking away from the enjoyment of your meal.
Completely disagree.
So you're telling me you can eat a hamburger and fries dry?
No, there's ketchup and stuff on the burger already.
I understand that, but without any additional.
But yeah, for sure.
I can't.
Interesting.
I need the extra condiments. Very into my condiments. We've had condiment rankings on my old night show before.
Always use protection.
From the 916, and we'll go here, and this is my favorite argument. You're sucking on a packet of stuff that somebody touched, bro. Do you guys have any idea if you go to these places? I mean, do we really want to get into
food.
Do you really want to get into the germ factor of what we're eating? Do we really want to have that conversation? No, we don't. All right, we'll break. Wow. Still, I got to one confession. Well, I guess two technically. Still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. Enough to get you through the rest of the week.
Yeah. Let's do morning confessions every morning. Matt Barrows is going to join us at 8:05, Kyle, whether you like it or not.
I do like it.
Okay.
I like Matt.
Eric Armstead, who went after a Bay Area reporter on Twitter yesterday.
Eric doing a lot of work there.
We're having a little fun with this. Sacramento zone.
Please.
He's coming on at 8:35 of your San Francisco 49ers. We're going to talk a lot of Kings today as they return, having won 3 of 4 on the road. Is an NBA championship inevitable in Sacramento? We'll tell you coming up on Morning Brew next. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Goes to Shumpert, back now to Buddy, adjusts, steps back, launches for 3, and cracks the twine again. Buddy buckets from downtown, now has 14. He's 4 of 8 from distance, 5 of 10 on the night. What a difference from the first half to the second half for the starting guard combination of Field and Fox.
You know what the Kings did last night? More than just winning. They went 3-1 on the road trip. That's exactly what most of us predicted. And by most of us, I'm not trying to give me credit. I'm saying most of you, too. Most of us as Kings fans, that's exactly what we predicted. And we are sitting here, good fade, 26 games into the season. And in my opinion, and I think most of you would agree with me, with the exception of one game, they've won every game we think they should have won, air quotes. And the one game I'm talking about is, of course, the Utah game at Golden One Center when they didn't have Donovan Mitchell less than a week after they beat Utah with Donovan Mitchell in Utah. That's it. If you had polled Kings fans, in fact, wait, I did poll Kings fans before the start of this road trip, about 85%, if you'd have given them choices between 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, 3, et cetera, would have picked 3-1 on this road trip. And would have picked the specific games. Win Phoenix, win Cleveland, lose Indiana, win Chicago. And it was a tough start, Kyle. In that first half, Chicago came out, and I think a lot of Kings fans, including myself, are going, oh, God, here we go. They're getting healthy. Portis is back. Markkanen's back. Chris Dunn was playing. They're getting a lot of their scorers back. And those meetings worked. And in fact, I even think I said at some point, good job, the Kings are here to help boost the confidence of the Bulls. And then in the second half, here's a stat for you that hopefully I'm not stealing from Cold Hard Facts. Coming up at 8:30. Oh, no, coming up. That's right. We're preempting that. We're moving it to where What's on Tap is because Eric Armstead's at 8:35. The Bulls, I put it on the rundown. The Bulls scored 33 points. Yes, I did. I put it on the rundown. The Bulls scored 33 points in the first quarter. The Bulls scored 33 points in the second half. That is the least amount of points the Bulls have scored in a half. I saw the stat yesterday. I can't remember it, but in a long time. Like a super long time. So it's one thing when the Kings run other teams off the floor. It's another thing when you're able to hold a team to 89 points overall and 33 points in the entire second half, Kyle.
Yeah, it's that defensive effort that stood out to me. We know this team can score, but to hold the Bulls to 89 points, they're not very good, but they have some guys who can score the basketball. And I think their high scorer yesterday had 19 points.
Yeah,
that's just there's a really, really nice job by the Kings. And how lucky are they that the Bulls match Zach LaVine's offer?
6:35. We will talk more Kings. 7 o'clock. We will talk more Kings, and 7:35. We'll talk. We got a lot of Kings for you with some football as well. Kyle made a little crack
on this show.
On this show, we don't normally talk Kings on this show, Kyle. So
I know that's how you know they're doing well.
Thought we'd switch it up today.
Yeah, no, that's good.
We're a bandwagon. Number 2.
Being chased, gets hit by Martin. The ball comes out, rolling around. It's picked up by the Seahawks. Coming near side, it's Coleman. 20, 15, 10, 5. He is in.
Nobody cares, but guess what? Work hard, get lucky, get your own radio show, and you can do what I'm about to do. In my big money league, I was 10-1. First place.
Cruising along.
Lost a game, went to 10-2. No problem. Lost it by 3 points. Was the second highest scoring team in the league that week. Next week, lost fairly large. A couple guys got hurt. So I lose out on a first-round bye. The playoffs start last night. Going into last night's game, I still need to get bailed out by Adam Thielen. I need 11 points out of him. That's not out of the ordinary. Adam Thielen doesn't even have a target in the first half. Not even a target. Remember, this is a guy that caught passes for 100 yards or more, 8 consecutive games?
Against the defense, he gave up 414 passing yards to Nick Mullins.
So I don't even care about the game. I hope the Vikings don't win for 3 years.
Dude, that's how I feel about LaShawn McCoy, who screwed me twice this year. I'm out on LaShawn McCoy as a football player. Can't stand him. My least favorite player in the league now. Second least favorite player in the league now.
Can I even blame Adam Thielen? I blame Kirk Cousins, and I blame the offensive coordinator. I can't blame poor Adam Thielen. He didn't even get a target. What's he supposed to do?
Get open. Earn a target.
No, he was open. Kirk Cousins is terrible. Kirk Cousins is the worst. Honestly, Nick Mullins greater sign Kirk Cousins. Facts. Nothing but facts here on the drive. That's our breakdown of that game. Number 3.
He's a good friend of mine. He's always going to be a Raider. We're going to have to rebuild this football team without him, but I will assure the Raider fans that we'll do everything we can to find the right replacement. He left some big shoes to fill. Just want to wish him the best.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, John.
I think it was Vic Tafer who brought this up. But John Gruden implied heavily that he wasn't the one who asked for McKenzie to be dismissed. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then it was Mark Davis. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, why is Mark Davis not at that press conference yesterday answering questions?
Because it's dumb. Here's how I would have switched it around and I'll ask this to Scott Bair tomorrow. Did anybody bother to ask John Gruden, John, in your opinion, if you wanted Reggie McKenzie to stay and had gone to Mark Davis and told him so, do you think Reggie McKenzie would still be here? And if John Gruden's being honest, the answer is yeah, Reggie McKenzie would absolutely still be there. John Gruden had full power as to whether or not McKenzie was gone. I have zero doubt in my mind.
Yes.
So,
and we talked about that on this show. The day he got hired was Reggie McKenzie's last day as the Raiders GM.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good. Reward the guy that traded Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper for a handful of magic beans. Hopefully they work out. Hopefully they draft somebody of the caliber of Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. Kings beat the Bulls. Highlights next right here on the drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. Not my top stories, they're yours. The Kings won again last night. They moved to 2 games over the 500 mark and went 3-1 on their 4-game road trip. They beat the Bulls in Chicago 108-89. De'Aaron Fox filled the stat sheet. He had a game-high 25 points. He dished out 6 assists, had 4 rebounds, and 4 steals. Sacramento's off today. They return home to face the Timberwolves tomorrow. The Oakland Raiders announced yesterday they have relieved general manager Reggie McKenzie of his duties. He signed a 4-year extension in 2016 that would have kept him in Oakland through 2021. So now the Raiders' search for a new GM will begin what?
Duties.
The 49ers wide receiver Pierre Garçon's season is over. Head coach Kyle Shanahan announced yesterday that the 32-year-old will have surgery on an injured knee that has kept him out of San Francisco's last 4 games. At 6:32, time for Squeaky Clean. To clean your gutters, visit squeakyclean.com. Those are your top stories. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK. Here we go.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
Havana, na na. Nailed it.
Why are you not working here? Where are you at, Lance? Do I have you muted? Oh, I do. I'm sorry, buddy. Do I have Lance muted? Why is my...
You know, you have Lance Woods, I'm assuming. You have him muted, and I can actually still hear him.
You can hear him?
No,
I see what you did there.
He's loud.
Why is Lance Woods not... I have it up on my computer.
You know what you should do? You should call our guy, Vince Harris.
Yeah, Vince would know.
It's time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, at 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050.
We'll get to Lance Woods. I'll switch computers here in just a second.
This is a big Vince Harris house.
Here's Willie Cauley-Stein.
Ahead to Fox on the right wing this time. DeBelly straightaway fakes the 3, now drives on Markkanen. Hangs in the lane, a little floater, no good. Stick back, Willie Cauley-Stein. Powered it down. Timed it beautifully in the low right side of the paint.
Marvin Bagley came in, added a little bit. Because remember, the Bulls started out pretty strong here.
He's going to have to tighten up that interior defense. Here's Bagley teeing up a straightaway 3-ball. Nothing but net for Marvin Bagley. Dropping the triple that time. And for the rookie, that's the 9th one he's made in 25 attempts this season.
De'Aaron Fox and the Kings came out in the second half. Remember, the Bulls had the lead through much of the first half, built it up to double digits, and I tweeted it at halftime that Dave Yeager should probably go into the locker room at half and kick every player right in the junk. I don't have confirmation that he did that. But I don't.
Do you have confirmation that he did not?
No, I do not, Kyle, and that's what I suspect. I think there was some junk kicking going on at halftime, and De'Aaron Fox came out and led the way.
Levine, right baseline for Chicago. Feeds it out of the wing. It's broken up and stolen by Fox. Fox on the run up. Levine chasing the rack. Goes for the hammer and rips it off the bounce with the left hand. Your Petkus brothers moment of the game.
Yep, that's right. Your Petkus brothers moment of the game. G-Man, thank you. Get the spectacular backyard you've always wanted with a beautiful Petkus brothers patio or sunroom. The best price, best value guaranteed every day. Is it Pet Hug Brothers? No, it's Petkus brothers. Yep, thank you very much. Let's see here. Do I have Lance Woods ready? Yeah, I do. Lance was getting ready, and we appreciate that. Lance an artist, and he needs time to get ready. I always like to, when applicable, play Lance's thoughts after the game, our good friend, and here's what he said.
Let's go, Kings! That's how you ball out in that second half. That first half, I don't know what was going on. I think it was too cold in that arena. It's freezing in Chicago. They got to stop giving the players Gatorade in Chicago. Give us hot chocolate and tea. Pass us some soup, because it's freezing in there. Next time we come to Chicago, we playing in thermal socks and long-sleeve jerseys. Can we talk about the defense in the second half? The first half, the Bulls played in Chicago. The second half, they played in Shawshank. Held them to 33 points in that second half. Buddy and Fox had 34 by themselves. We could have beat them 2 on 12. And speaking of Fox, I told you he was Russell Westbrook from Wakanda. I told you he was John Wall with a jump shot. Did you see him in that third quarter? Did you see the performance he put on? Every time I watch him play, I feel like T.O. That's my point guard.
I think we need to isolate that. That's my point guard.
That's my point guard. Iman Shumpert, not our point guard, but getting it close.
Another turnover. Fox to Hield. Buddy's open in the corner. He doesn't look to shoot it. He looks to give it up. He's smothered right now by Holiday. To Cauley-Stein, back to Hield, swings to Shumpert. He's open for 3. He's got the triple. And suddenly the Kings, who were down as many as 14 on a 13-3 run, making it a 2-point game at 66-64.
De'Aaron Fox to end the third quarter on fire.
Fox feeling it. Steps left. Launches for 3. Hield to the rim and out. Chased by Fox. He throws to the corner to Hield. Eludes one defender. 3 seconds to go. Shovels back to the corner. Fox for 3. Got the triple. And the Kings bench erupts in a huge burst of excitement and energy. What a finish to the quarter by Sacramento.
Kyle, I will tell you something, speaking of confessions.
Yeah, please.
The Kings,
Just put it.
the line on the Kings last night was 2.5.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I don't wager professionally, but
Sometimes.
I would have wagered large last night.
Yeah.
I would have been stressed out the first half, and I would have felt really good at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about yesterday on the show. Is like, you know what? I don't. But if I did, I would be very tempted to take the Kings in that 2.5 points.
Well, the Sacramento Kings beat the Bulls. We'll have more highlights at 7:05 and 7:35. Coming up next, Seahawks and Vikings. We got a little bit there, and also Reggie McKenzie no longer with the Oakland Raiders. It's a drive. Sports 1140 KHTK. Going behind the scenes, we had to break a little early there. Normally we're breaking right now. We needed about a 4-minute break. 4-minute early break. I was sweating. I won't go into too much detail. It's early, but I'll just say this. Made a bad choice last night. My wife comes home. It was one of those busy nights where my wife had the gym. My son had basketball practice. My daughter had drama club. I don't know. Everybody's doing stuff, right? And, it's always a challenge for dinner. My wife goes, I went to my friend's house over the weekend, and one of her coworkers that we know really well, she's a big cook, and she made, I don't know what country it's from, but some dish from Europe. It was like mashed potatoes, stew meat and gravy over the potatoes, and green beans on the side.
That sounds like a dream.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. Okay.
I'm not big on eating leftovers from other people's houses.
I'm not big on eating leftovers from my house, but it depends on the food.
I mean, if you want to be a snob about it.
No, I'm just, it's just, anyways. But we went for it. I said, okay, fine. Because I was going to do Impossible Cheeseburger Pie last night. It's a Biscuit classic. I love it. After the first bite, I turned to my wife and I said, this tastes like dog food. And it looks like dog food. Think about it. Mashed potatoes with chopped up meat and gravy on top. It tasted like dog food, yet better. So I put some spices on it, finished it up. It's not agreeable. Just leave it there. It's not agreeable. And there are many reasons why I'd like to work on a big morning show. Like we said yesterday, we only have one full-time employee. But it's one of those times where it's good that I'm in the studio by myself. It's good that there's nobody else in here with me.
Yesterday, during Cold Hard Facts, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And as the break's ending, I was like, oh, shoot. But I have things to do during the break. So.
I will say that there are many cases on
the show. So
as
as soon as
that
segment ended, I sprinted to the restroom.
There are many cases on the show where I have the advantage over you because of the plates you're spinning and all that.
Yeah.
That's one of the places where I think you firmly have the advantage over me. Like, you can and you can duck out during a segment if need be.
But that's because I don't do it during the breaks. I have stuff going on.
No, I got you. I'm just saying, like, it all evens out. I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm saying
no. That's what I'm hearing, though. I'm reading between the lines.
All right, you're lazy. Much like the Minnesota offense was lazy last night. Here's Seattle, a big fourth down stop.
Turns, hands to Murray, gets hit. He doesn't make it. The Seahawks just stuffed him at the line of scrimmage.
Okay. So 3-0 Seattle. Minnesota forgoes a field goal there. Hey, they're back at the 1-yard line. Here's a fourth down.
Cousins, shotgun snap. Looks to the end zone. Fired to the back of the end zone. Incomplete. The Seahawks knock it away. It's Bradley McDougal right under the goalpost. And the ball knocked away, and the Seahawks dodge another bullet.
All right, so it's 6-0 Seahawks. Good move so far, Vikings. Russell Wilson got loose in the fourth.
Play fake, Russell rolls, looks, tosses the ball to Lockett. He scores the 2-point conversion.
And finally, the Seahawks defense, which was great all night, got loose.
Being chased, gets hit by Martin. The ball comes out, rolling around. It's picked up by the Seahawks. Coming near side, it's Coleman. 20, 15, 10, 5. He is in.
Kirk Cousins was, speaking of dog food, he was dog you-know-what all night long, and he doesn't have the secret.
What is the key? If I had the answer, I would be probably the best quarterback in the league, and probably would be standing up here after a victory. So, if you guys have the secret, let me know.
Seahawks win comfortably over Minnesota. Minnesota looks terrible, and obviously that can change week to week. Seahawks, by the way, have won 5 in a row and are looking quite good. That NFC playoff situation is so interesting. And, Kyle, how about this? The two hottest teams. Seattle's won 4 in a row. The two hottest teams in the NFC are the Cowboys and the Seahawks.
Yeah, so it looks like the Seahawks have pretty much secured that 5 seed.
They're 8-5.
They're not catching the Rams, so they're not gonna win the West. And the Rams already clinched the division, I guess. But the Vikings aren't catching them.
No.
So at worst, even if Dallas, because right now we'd get Dallas and Seattle in the first round,
which we talked about yesterday, would be
right.
Fantastic.
The other scenario that we could get is Seahawks-Bears in the first round,
which would also be.
I'm in on both of those matchups. I think Seattle is that, how every year there's that team that randomly gets hot at the end of the year and they wind up in the NFC title game and nobody knows how they got there. I think that's going to be Seattle.
We talked yesterday about the NFC playoff picture being set, and I haven't changed my mind necessarily on that, except now with the way the Vikings look last night, you have the Vikings at 6-1. You have the Panthers at 6-7, the Eagles at 6-7. We agree the Redskins are done
because of their quarterback situation.
Because of the quarterback situation.
If only there was a quarterback playoff experience available.
Vikings, Panthers, Eagles. Are you still comfortable saying the Vikings will hold the Panthers and Eagles off?
Yeah, I think so. I know that we talked about earlier in the year how neither of us ever really ruled the Panthers out because Cam Newton is that talented. Mm-hmm. But he's hurt, and they still have the Saints twice.
Yep.
In 2 games the Saints are probably going to care about.
Saints, Falcons, Saints.
So that's a tough schedule for them. I don't trust Philadelphia at all.
The Rams have... the Eagles have Rams in L.A.
Yeah, loss.
Home Texans.
Probably a loss.
Probably a loss. And then at the Redskins, that should definitely be a win.
So they're looking at 8-8, at best, if they go 2-1 in those games.
And then the Vikings finish up home Dolphins, at Lions, home Bears, which should be 2-1, but could be 1-2.
Yeah, that should absolutely be 2-1. But even still, are you trusting Green Bay at this point?
No.
Are you? It's not even a matter of I think the Vikings are just the best out of those teams. I think they're just in the best spot to kind of cling to that 6th seed. True
or false? If Green Bay goes into Chicago and beats the Bears, they're going to sneak in. They finish at Jets, home Lions.
I would certainly feel a lot better about them. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, though, because the Bears are going to really care about that game.
That is really interesting.
And whoever gets that 6th seed, whether it's Minnesota, Carolina, Philly, or Green Bay, I'm counting Washington out, they have to go to Chicago in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Going to be a very interesting NFC side of the playoffs, that's for sure. So we're getting close. Can you believe we are so close to the playoffs?
I can't wait.
Winter hasn't even started yet, and we're already getting it. I hate when the NFL playoffs start because that is the beginning of the end.
That first weekend of NFL playoffs, though, is wild card weekend. Is
NFL playoffs? Don't get me wrong. Are some of my most enjoyable sporting.
I get what you're saying.
I start dreading.
Yeah.
The fact that football will be over soon.
Yeah.
I didn't realize winter started so late. By the way, honestly, I thought it was winter right now. Winter starts December 21st.
Nope, didn't know that. I had to drive to work at 20 miles an hour the whole way because of how foggy it was this morning. Yeah. So I thought winter was here. I thought that was winter announcing its arrival with authority.
I don't know if it always starts this way. I think maybe it does, but also on the 21st is the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. I don't know if that happens every year where winter starts on the winter solstice, but that's also December 21st, which is also sad because then every day after that gets longer and longer, and soon you're in summer. And there's nothing going on.
I'm one of the weirdos that prefers when it gets dark early.
I do too.
Like when it's 4:30.
Yeah.
And I'm
Love
like,
it.
yes, this
Love
is
it.
great because by 6 o'clock I can sit down on the couch with a cup of coffee and watch TV in the dark. It's great.
You drink coffee at 6 p.m.?
It depends. On a weekend where I'm gonna be up late, yeah, but I'll do like a decaf.
On a weekend, I gotcha.
But
Okay.
like on a weekday, I'll do a decaf at night. I'm 90 years old.
John Gruden needs some decaf when it comes to running this team.
He's a good friend of mine. He's always going to be a Raider. We're going to have to rebuild this football team without him, but I will assure the Raider fans that we'll do everything we can to find the right replacement. He left some big shoes to fill. Just want to wish him the best.
I mean,
No, I'm serious. Look at these things. Size 18s.
They're huge. I don't want to rip Gruden too much here because what's he supposed to do? What's he going to do? Come out to the press conference and be like, just wasn't going to work. I need full control of the team. Reggie didn't say eye to eye. He wasn't that great. And obviously, if he was, I wouldn't be here right now. Of course, he's going to say super nice things. But
they have spent, how many weeks has he been the coach now?
Gruden? What?
How many months?
You mean like going back to before the season?
Yeah, 10, they hired him in February?
Yeah.
January, whatever.
Sure.
10 or 11 months. They've spent a year crafting this press conference. Like they've known that he wasn't going to be around.
He was the NFL Executive of the Year 2 years ago.
It's not going to take him long to find work.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, he'll find a job just fine.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. You have total organizational control now with John Gruden, and he has made it a point to decimate this team basically of everyone but Derek Carr. And really at this point, don't you kind of have to, if you're placing odds right now, are you betting Derek Carr is back this year or next year? Like you got to bet 10 grand one way or the other, Kyle.
I would bet that he's back next year. Although I think that a quarterback goes with one of their first 3 round picks.
I think he's gone.
3 first-round picks.
I think he's gone. And they'll get something for him. I think Gruden wants a 100% fresh start.
Maybe.
He'll probably go grab somebody that he was super hot on in one of his quarterback camps.
We should ask Scott Bear this tomorrow at 8:05.
We will. Only 9 of Reggie McKenzie's 50 draft picks pre-Gruden are on the Raiders' 53-man roster.
Jeez.
9. In 2014, Reggie McKenzie drafted Khalil Mack, Derek Carr, Gabe Jackson, and Justin Ellis.
A really strong couple of drafts.
McKenzie wasn't perfect. By far, he was not perfect, but he got them out of salary cap hell. He rebuilt the team through the draft, and then Gruden came in and it just makes you wonder what happens if Derek Carr doesn't break his leg. I'm not saying nothing other than I would like to see an alternate reality where Carr does not break his leg.
Because they beat the Texans.
I think they would have
in
beat
that
the
first
Texans,
round.
and then do you build from there? We'll take a break. It's just the death of the Oakland Raiders, and it's all out there in front of us, and we still have another year to go. When we come back, let's get back to the Kings' tale of two halves there. And Willie Cauley-Stein, you got to give credit where credit was due. He was fantastic last night. We'll get into all that next on The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.